Hey Eagles fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now, and today we're going to answer all of your draft-related mailbag questions that you guys commented on my previous video using the hashtag Eagles. I found each and every one of them. I'm going to answer them in the order that we received them to get you guys ready for the NFL Draft, which is, believe it or not, less than 2 weeks away. All right, let's go ahead and start here with Strang Flicks, I think is how you say his name. He asked, do you want the Eagles to trade up in the draft and get Ruggs, Lamb, or Jeudy? Well, I would like them to, but I think it would probably cost too much. I'll explain on that here in a second. Here's the problem right now that all Eagle fans totally understand, especially if you watch this channel. Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, and Henry Ruggs are not going to be there at number 21. I would put it at a zero, literally a 0% chance. Jeudy, Ruggs, or CeeDee Lamb will be there at number 21 overall. You see the draft order right now, there are too many teams that need wide receiver. Miami needs a wide receiver. The Jets need a wide receiver. The Raiders need a wide receiver. The Broncos need a wide receiver. That's 4 teams. Only 3 receivers there, right? So that means you either go ahead and trade up, we've talked about it, to number 10 overall, or you sit tight and take the 4th best receiver in this draft, whether that is Justin Jefferson out of LSU, T. Higgins out of Clemson, or somebody else, Denzel Mims, Laviska Shenault, who knows, whoever is your 4th best receiver. But right now at number 21 overall, there's no way Philadelphia can actually go ahead and get one of the 3 best receivers because they will be gone by the time we go ahead and draft. Now, you're probably wondering, Thomas, the question is, do you want to trade up? What would it cost to trade up? Here is a perfect example, literally a perfect example of what it would cost to go ahead and move up in the draft based on what the Steelers did last year in 2019. So look at this. The Steelers had a 20th overall pick, so we have 21. They had 20 last year, and they moved up to 10 with Denver. So the Steelers got number 10 overall. They gave up the 20th overall pick, the 52nd overall pick, which is a second-round draft pick, and a future, about 2020, for us to be a 2021, third-round draft pick. So you'd have to give up a first, a second, and a future third to be able to move up to Cleveland's spot at number 10 in this year's draft. The question is, would you do it? Honestly, after doing the research and seeing that that is what it would cost, I'd say no. I think we can get the 4th best receiver at number 21, or get a later receiver in the 2nd and 3rd round in a Chase Claypool, or a Denzel Mims, or a Jalen Reagor, all in the 2nd round. I think we sit tight at 21. We either take the best receiver available, hopefully Justin Jefferson, he'll probably be there at number 21, or if Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma falls, go ahead and take him, the linebacker. I think linebacker is a very real possibility and a need for our Philadelphia Eagles. Trust me, I want Lamb, I want Jeudy, I want Ruggs. They're just not going to be there, so the price to go ahead and move up and get them is just too much. And so with that being said, I'm going to officially answer no. I do not want to trade up, stay put, and take the next best receiver that is available. Quick ad break here on YouTube. Don't worry about it. Scroll down, answer the pinned comment down below. Should the Eagles trade up in the draft? If you disagree with me, type Y down below for yes. If you agree, type N down below for no. I'm very curious what you guys think about what our Eagles should do at number 21 if they want to go ahead and move up. All right, moving on. Next question here comes from, I cannot pronounce that name. That's a hard one to pronounce. Anyway, you see it on your screen. He says, hashtag Eagles. Do the Eagles have to trade Rasul Douglas and Alshon Jeffrey? Well, I mean, no, they don't have to trade either one of them. Both of them are under contract for the foreseeable future, next couple of years, and both of them have been in a starting role at their respective positions at some point during the previous year. Yes, Rasul Douglas did rotate in there and did start at cornerback at one point in the 2019 NFL season. The main question here is Alshon Jeffrey, because you can basically trade Rasul Douglas anytime you want. You're just not going to get a lot back for him, maybe a 5th, maybe a 6th round draft pick. He's not really worth trading him, or he's not really worth a lot in terms of a trade. The question, of course, obviously, is Alshon Jeffrey. He's just too hard to trade because, one, he's worth a lot of money this year. He's getting paid over $10 million just to play receiver this year. So another team has to see the 30-year-old receiver's value at $10+ million. Plus, we said many times, this is a very good wide receiver draft, so why would you spend $10 million on a 30-plus-year-old receiver when you could just go ahead and draft a guy who's young, cheap, and possibly better? So overall, it's hard to just trade him based off of that, and plus Philadelphia's dead cap money is going to be very, very heavy. My guess is they're going to cut him. I've said that before here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I think they're probably just going to cut him and eat the dead money, but at this point in time, don't be surprised if Philadelphia just goes ahead and tries to mend the relationship and tries to have him out there playing wide receiver. Because let's say my previous scenario happens. Philadelphia goes linebacker or corner at number 21 overall, or pass rusher, who knows, offensive lineman, anything but receiver at number 21, and they don't get a receiver till the 2nd round. That's not good enough. You probably need to keep Alshon Jeffrey at that standpoint. I think they will cut him. I put my money on them cutting him because, honestly, I don't see a scenario where you would want to keep him on your team based on what he's done in the past, whether it's injuries, production, or just calling out Carson Wentz and whining at the wide receiver spot. I don't think that makes sense in terms of keeping him, but it is very difficult to trade him. Rasul Douglas, again, you could trade. right? You go ahead, just trade him and get a 5th, a 6th, a 7th, whatever it is. But honestly, this team is very, very shallow at cornerback behind Darius Slay. I mean, like, do you trust Avonte Maddox? Do you trust Sidney Jones? We're supposed to. I mean, everyone's telling us they're going to play very well this year, but it's not guaranteed that they're actually going to go ahead and play well. So Douglas, who, remember, 2 years ago had some decent starts. I mean, he got kind of beat up in the Dallas game, but has played well to a certain extent. I think they're going to throw all 3 of those guys at the second cornerback spot alongside Darius Slay, and whoever wins out in training camp is going to go ahead and be the starting cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like this video if you guys want to get rid of Alshon Jeffrey, right? Just like this video if you guys want to get rid of Alshon Jeffrey in any capacity, trade or cut. We're trying to get 300 likes here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Heck, if you just like the channel, you appreciate all the work that I put into this channel to go ahead and give you guys the latest Eagles news and rumors, give this video a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. FF asks, let's see, how about a running back? I love this question. We don't have any depth at running back. I miss running backs on the mock drafts to the Birds. Yes, listen, this is something we haven't talked about a lot, but yes, we do need a running back. We need a running back very, very badly because look at your depth chart. It's only 3 deep. Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and then Elijah Holyfield, who was drafted by the Carolina Panthers out of Georgia, subsequently cut and signed by Philadelphia. He's not a long-term solution, in my opinion. Now, good player at Georgia, but he's just not... They want to get somebody better. So I would totally agree. I think a running back is a very real possibility. Maybe in the 2nd round, maybe in the 3rd round. You got 3 picks in the 4th round. Maybe you go there. Here are your 4 best running backs that'll probably all go in the 2nd round. DeAndre Swift out of Georgia, Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin, J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State, Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU. Those are probably your top 4. I would love Jonathan Taylor out of this list. Jonathan Taylor is going to be an elite running back in the National Football League. All 4 of them might be. I think Taylor's going to be a lock. He'd be a great, great pairing alongside Miles Sanders, a great complement to Miles Sanders. They would be unbelievable together, but again, got to spend an early 2nd round draft pick to get him, so I would rather go someplace else in the 2nd round. But how about some guys you can get in the 3rd or 4th round? Cam Akers, Zach Moss, A.J. Dillon. How about Perine out of Florida? There are a lot of good running backs in this draft class, and normally this would be the focus, saying, oh, it's a very deep running back draft class because the wide receiver class, the quarterback class, the offensive line class is so deep in this year's draft, they're not getting a lot of overall praise. Sanders was great last year. He's going to be running back number 1, but the NFL's running back by committee anyway, and most running backs don't really make it past that first big contract that you saw what happened with Todd Gurley recently, you know, getting basically sent away and cut for nothing. Eating a bunch of dead cap space was the LA Rams to get him to the Atlanta Falcons. So Miles Sanders' future is not exactly guaranteed to be long, despite the fact we hope it's going to go ahead and be long. So I'd be all for getting a running back. Honestly, if they went Justin Jefferson at number 21 and Jonathan Taylor at number 53, that'd be very, very impressive. The problem is you got to get a linebacker at some point in this draft because right now your linebacker core, as we know, is very, very bleak. So I agree. I think a great question there, FF. No one's really talking about a running back. They got 3 picks in the 4th round. They got a 3rd round draft pick. I think they will use one of those to go ahead and grab somebody. Maybe Cam Akers, maybe a Zach Moss, maybe an A.J. Dillon. You'll have to go ahead and wait and see. Let me answer you guys this question. I want to gauge the room here. Do the Eagles need to draft a running back? Type 1 down below for yes. Type 2 down below for no. I'm very curious if you guys agree with me that, hey, I mean, Boston Scott was good last year. Don't get me wrong, but can we trust Boston Scott? That's the thing. Same with Sidney Jones. Same with Avonte Maddox. Boston Scott. Can we trust these guys to produce for 16 games instead of just like 3 games? I don't know. It's a question that needs to be answered, but I'm curious what you guys think in the comment section down below. Couple more here. Let's see. Topher asked, where do we go in the 2nd and 3rd rounds? Okay, I mean, I kind of answered that already, but let me just say this. The perfect 2nd round draft pick. If the Eagles could take anybody in the 2nd round, anybody at all, Denzel Mims out of Baylor. I will take this to my grave that Denzel Mims is going to be a great receiver in the National Football League. No, it's not because I covered him and I was up close and personal with Denzel Mims many times during my years at Baylor. It's not because of that. It's honestly because he's a great, great football player and a great guy. He measured out great at the NFL Combine. I think they're going to go ahead and get a wide receiver in one of those, 3 rounds there later. I would love Denzel Mims, but honestly, you need a wide receiver, you need a defensive end, you need a linebacker, you need a running back. Any one of those guys, I think, would make a lot of sense. Any one of those positions, I should say, would make a lot of sense for Philadelphia in rounds 2, 3, and 4. Listen, Chase Claypool, is he going to go in the 2nd round? Could he slide to the 3rd round? Could a Cam Akers, the running back, be there in the 3rd round? There are a lot of options in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round, and really, Philadelphia has a ton of mid-round picks. 3 picks in the 4th round this year. Don't be surprised if they make a lot of their damage, a lot of their money by getting some really, really good draft picks in the middle to late rounds, because they've been successful and able to do the past couple of years. Your 2nd round wide receivers are as followed. I think Mims, Rager, Chenault, and Claypool are all going to go in the second round. Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State, he'll be a second round draft pick as well. You'll see the top receivers go early. There'll kind of be a lull. Then Philadelphia will jump back in at number 21 most likely. Then there'll be another gap. And then you get to the second round. All these second-round guys are going to go like crazy, like hotcakes in the second round here. I think you're going to see a run on running back, a run on wide receiver, and we're going to see where Philadelphia is going to go ahead and fall whenever they try to go ahead and get these guys. But as we said, wide receiver, DN, linebacker, running back are all needs. That's where you go in rounds 2 through 4. Be sure to subscribe to Philadelphia Eagles now. A big thank you, guys. This is why we're doing this one right here, this mailbag, because you guys got us to 7,000 subs over the weekend. I greatly appreciate it and wanted to go ahead and answer your guys' questions. So if you have not followed Philadelphia Eagles now, you're not subscribed, go ahead and click the red subscribe button down below. I would greatly appreciate it. Couple more here. Why not? It's Easter Sunday. Let me go ahead and answer this one. Devin asks, what are the chances of us getting KJ Hamler? Okay, so Hamler, obviously the wide receiver out of Penn State. He is, we talked about this yesterday, or a couple days ago. He's a favorite. I mean, Philadelphia loves this guy. I mentioned wide receivers in the second round. Hamler might be that pick at number 53 overall. I'm not a massive fan because he was undersized, and really, from all the scouting reports I've read, he creates plays for himself, but it's more after he catches the football that he makes his plays, and I feel like the guys on our squad kind of already do that in Deshaun Jackson and Greg Ward. The height thing is a little bit of an issue. I'd much rather have a 6'2" Justin Jefferson, a 6'4" T. Higgins. Even you look at a guy like Henry Ruggs is 6'1", 6'2" in that same range. 5'9's a little bit short, as we've seen with the Philadelphia Eagles receivers. A lot of them are undersized besides J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Again, if you got Jefferson in the first round, you got Hamler in the second round, that's a great haul. I just hope that Hamler's not the only receiver that we go ahead and take in this year's draft, but he's a very real possibility out of Penn State there in the second round. Okay, one more. Deacon Williams asks, and the Eagles would trade up and grab one of the top 3 receivers. Okay, well, I kind of already answered that one. The answer, again, is going to go ahead and be no. Now, listen, if they fall in love with CeeDee Lamb, or they fall in love with Jerry Jeudy, then yeah, they might go ahead and do it. Because here's what you got to wait. Because, again, we talked about how it would take a first, a second, and a third to make a trade up to number 10 with Cleveland. You would have to be so in love with CeeDee Lamb that you would think he was better than getting both Justin Jefferson and Denzel Mims, or Justin Jefferson and Brandon Ayuk, or Justin Jefferson and Chase Claypool. Like, one receiver would have to be better than both of the guys you could get in the second and third round, and honestly, the first and the second round at 21 and 53 overall, and I just don't think that is going to be worth it, even though I love CeeDee Lamb so much. My gosh, he's going to be so good. But alas, you'll see him be a Jet, he'll be a Raider, he'll be a Dolphin most likely. It stinks, but what are you going to do? That's life. That's how it's going to work. I still think we're going to get a good receiver at number 21 overall. Final question here. What if you guys could take anybody in the first round? Who do you guys want the Eagles to take? If you could take anybody in the first round, let me know who that is down below. I want to gauge the fan base here and see how we're all feeling, as we're less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. Finally, something to have to do with sports, as we're all stuck inside and bored, but the draft is coming to save us, at least for a temporary period of time. All time we have for today. For Philadelphia Eagles Now, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.